So here we go. This is A Daughter's Cry. My name is Anitra, and I just want to give you guys some intel about me and what we'll be doing from this point forward. I'm trying to heal generational curses in our family, and then from there, hopefully, it can help someone else realize or kind of look at things from a different perspective, because we all are not raised the same. So this is just some things that I've gone through and my family's gone through. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a little backstory about me, and then from there, I will try to interview my mother. I don't know if she's gonna be willing to do this or not, but I'll try. And then I'm gonna interview my grandmother, and from her, I'm gonna do my daughters, and then my granddaughters, just to get everyone's input and opinion on how they feel about being a daughter, and if they think we were wrong or right about certain things that's happened in the past or in our lives. But just by me doing some self-healing and just looking back on my life and the things that's happened to me and my brothers or didn't or should have happened with me and my brothers, just gonna give y'all a little bit about that. It may be crucial at sometimes. I might want to get up off this thing sometimes. If you, no, I ain't gonna say that. Yes, I believe in God. He is working on me. But if you don't want to hear the cussing or something, might offend you, then you shouldn't listen to this, because my mouth is still slick. I'm trying. I'm working on me. And this is my process. Not your process, not who you know's process, but my process. Everybody's different. And sometimes when you get a different look on what other people's gone through, then you can kind of take a step back and look at your life like, maybe I didn't look at it that way, and get a different perspective. That's all I'm just trying to get everybody to get different perspectives. Because I talk to a lot of females, a lot of women who are broken, and it all stems from us not knowing, because we don't ask questions. We are raised to not ask questions, to not voice your opinion or have feelings when you're a kid, or you'll never be older than your parents. So as a child, period. So I just want y'all to go on this journey with me. I hope my mother will get on board. She said no at first, but I'll work on her. We just recently had some things going on that people need to just hear and see. We don't just get to a better place in life. We have to work our way there. We don't just have a bad day one day and then, boom, we in a whole better life. No, it takes work, and a lot of it. So I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, in Algiers. When I was about 7 or 8, my mother moved us to Flagstaff, Arizona. And then from there, when I was about 12, I think I was 12, 13, 14, something like that, I moved back to New Orleans. And then from there, when I was like 21, I moved to Texas. And then a few years ago, we moved to Mesa, Arizona, and then back to Texas. So I have 4 daughters. One who is 29, one is 26, one 19, and we have a 3-year-old. And I'm not going to forget, but I have, I don't know how to put it, a stepdaughter that I raised or had a little bit of, I helped raise, but we no longer communicate. Excuse me, but I will also get to that. And all my daughters live here in Texas right now. I just want to do this podcast, pretty much for all women, and not just women, some men. Men go through things too. We don't think they do, but they actually do. And being raised by a single mother, and a mother just plays a part in everyone's life. That's one thing we all have in common. We are somebody's daughter and sons, but we are women. We are someone's daughter. And it affects us more. As a kid, period, we are always looking up or trying to please not pleased, but want to get support and be supported by our parents, right? We always are trying to do more things to make them proud. We want them to be proud of us. So we do things to, try to make them proud. And sometimes some parents don't even acknowledge what you're doing, or they're dream stealers, but they really don't know that they're stealing your dreams. And we grow up in a world where you're going to listen to your parents. Like, if they're providing for you, you're going to listen. You have to listen, you know what I'm saying? But in my household, I was kind of scared of my mama, so I didn't ask questions. I just did things, I didn't, because I was afraid. I was afraid of being told no, number one, or just scared to ask questions about my life, my body. Why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? Some of us parents don't make it comfortable for our children to approach us. We're not approachable. It's what we say. If your parent tells you to do something, you need to do it. No back talk, no asking why, and then these kids grow up not speaking up because we were told to be quiet. You are to be seen and not heard. You sit there and be quiet. Now, some things I did take that, from my mom raising me. She was a single mother. It wasn't until I got older is when I started realizing she didn't just not want to be there. She was working a lot, so she had to work to provide for us, right? So I can't be mad at a person that's trying to provide for her children, even though she missed some things in our lives. And as a mother now, I understand, I have to be mad because we didn't get to do much with mama. So it was, she'll come home from work, go in the room, go to sleep, wake up, and she just don't have time. We'll be at school, or, she is trying to live her life, get out there and, experience the world herself, all while trying to raise kids. But that's one thing that I picked up from my mama. I had a kid very early when I was 16. And as me and my daughter grew together and I had other children, I made her the parent. Now, was I right for doing that? No. But because that's how we are raised to, if you have older kids and you have to go to work, that oldest is responsible for everyone, right? And it shouldn't be that way. It's not these kids' responsibility to look after, take care, figure out how they're getting our children back and forth to school. I did that. My kids was mad with me because with the oldest kids, I made them babysit. The youngest kids, I did not. I didn't make them watch anybody else's kids, but that's what I was trained to do. I was trained to, as a kid, to watch all the kids in the family because I am the oldest on both sides of my family, on my mom's side and my dad's side. I'm the oldest. So there's a lot of responsibility with being just the oldest daughter, the oldest child, and the oldest grandchild. That's stressful. It puts a lot of stress on you. And then I raised my girls almost the same way, even though I wanted to have a kid so that I can love them for myself, because I'm at that young age, I was always raising other people's children. Not just raising them, but always having to babysit them. And that's almost like raising. Like, I shouldn't have to be tied down to watch someone else's kids. That should never have been my job. But I raised my kids the same way. And, it's up to the kid. If they're going to either love you for working your ass off to take care of them, or they're going to be mad with you for not spending enough time with them. Excuse me, we can't please them all, but we're going to try our damnedest to do so. Some parents just walk around not wanting to hear or know. Some parents we raise our kids with expectations that we didn't even give our parents. Like, you had a boyfriend early, and y'all start doing things. So now you're trying to keep your daughters from not having boyfriends, so they wouldn't do the same thing. I'm just going to be honest with you. I try both ways, and they do what they want to do. Kids will do what they want, and you can't control it. You just have to still be the guider. You have to guide them in the right direction. We have to show them. If you are smoking weed and your kids grow up smoking weed, you can't be mad because they are a product of their environment. Even though they will go out and pretty much try to try it on their own, we still have to set an example. We cannot fail in those areas, because not blaming myself, but things could have been different, you know. Raising girls in that type of environment, I was in a very traumatic relationship, abusive, with my girls. So, but I was with my ex-husband. So, while you're going through something, the kids are going through it. My kids experienced all of my feelings without me even recognizing it or paying attention to it, or just talking to them about what was going on. It was hard, because then my kids grew up needing help, need to talk to someone, because I literally put them through hell. I was going through hell, and I put them through hell. They didn't do it on purpose. I just never thought about it. Like, I'm going through this, and they're not, you know. They don't have to experience this. It's just me. Now I'm going to go back to me growing up in New Orleans. I'm giving you guys this backstory so that when I start talking to other people and interviewing other people, you kind of already have the backstory on, you know, why I do what I do, why I move the way I move, and why I really don't, I feel like I really don't tolerate a lot of things anymore. But it took me a long time to get to where I am. I never graduated from high school, but I also went to college. I went to a school later on in life, you know, and then come to find out after I got my GED, the school that I was going to was not an accredited school. So I already was in college and doing my thing. So that helped me out a lot along the way in life, because come to find out that school was never an accredited school. I didn't think to go and check to see if they were accredited. So, you know, it is what it is. I just moved forth and kept doing my thing. And I've come a long way. Like, you never thought. I grew up in Christopher Homes. My grandmother grew up in the Cutoff. It's all Algiers, but it's the Cutoff. There's Christopher Homes, then Algiers and Old Algiers. This is a lot, but I grew up in a neighborhood where there was a lot of violence, killing. That was like normal for us. If you lived in Christopher Homes, you know there was a lot going on back then. Well, it's gone now. They tore it down, but baby, I can give y'all some stories on the things I've seen, the things I've heard, and the things I've experienced growing up in the hood. And everybody now, you know, they don't know what they getting until they really know my past. So they're like, oh, yes, I'm calm. When I first moved to Texas, I was I was out of control. I was mean to everybody. That's because I was going through my own mental issues with my ex-husband. Like, we fought every day, and I didn't think it was nothing wrong with it, because growing up in the hood, we fought every day. You gonna fight your man, y'all gonna fight each other, and just go and watch the business. Nobody really thought nothing of it. It's like, okay, yeah, that's normal. That's normal in the hood. You gonna beat this nigga ass, he gonna beat your ass, whatever the case may be. It's just, it is what it is. But you're not thinking anything is wrong with that, growing up in that environment. So when you grow up, you raising these kids in front of all this turmoil. Like, it just was bad. And when I actually got pregnant 2 times in high school, and what no one ever knew, they thought I was fast. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, I was pregnant, had a baby at 16, and then I was getting turned around and had another baby. But let me give you something. Give you this. I initially got pregnant when I was 15, and I had an abortion. I remember it. I had the abortion when I was 15, in December. The next year, April, I was pregnant again. But the first time I had sex, I got pregnant. Had the abortion. Had sex again, got pregnant again. And that was the only time I was having sex. So people just thought I was out there wilding. And right, I'm just going to tell you, I was pregnant, but didn't ever enjoy the sex. I was too young to even understand. I should have had someone to teach me about sex, even though they try to give us a little bit of that in high school. But they just giving you like basic information. We need to know what's going to go on, what's going to happen, why. Your parents, we should be teaching our kids when you feel that little what to do with it. Because if not, they're going to try to figure it out on their own. So would you rather them go out there blind or being able to see? Kids should be able to see when somebody playing in their face. But we don't be real with our kids. We just sugarcoat a lot of shit and move on, right? Not okay. But yeah, I had an abortion, got pregnant right again. I didn't even know I was pregnant the second time. My mom came in and she was like, so you gonna what you gonna do with this one, have an abortion again? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not pregnant. Just because you don't enjoy sex, or, it don't mean you're going to be pregnant, right? So, come find out I was pregnant. And I kept the baby, which is my oldest daughter, Jakia. And then a girl, I remember this, we was at school, and the girl was like, my friends, we was talking about boys or whatever, and I'm like, after I remember a girl at school was like, I was telling, we was like hanging out, and my friend was there, and she was telling about her boo or whatever, and I'm like, I said, ooh, girl, I was cock blocking. And she was like, yeah, but you wasn't blocking that cock. And I'm like, wow. People would think you be out wilding out. Even though they didn't know my business, but I didn't even tell them. I barely want to talk to people anyway, so that was just icing on the cake for me to stay to myself. I always have been a little loner. So, I have like one or two friends, like my sister, which is my mom and my best friend's mom. Well, my sister, they're best friends. So we were born best friends. So we're sisters now. We don't even say best friends. But we were raised together, like, and she's just like, girl, you pregnant? She never got caught up like that. You know what I'm saying? So they knew if one doing something, the other one doing it. So it was just weird that how they found out. And from that day, my mother didn't even come to the baby shower. She did decorate the room for the baby and got a crib and, things like that, but she didn't come to the baby shower. And I know that was very disappointing, that I was following her footsteps, because I'm thinking, hell, you saying you did it, I see you making it, I could do it too, I just want to be like my mom. I just always wanted to get her approval, because I never got to really spend time with her as being the only girl. Like, that was I just always found myself trying to find things to do. Like, we didn't have that close-knit relationship. Like, some parents that I see with their daughters, like, growing up in the hood, they don't think about nothing like that. It's not until we leave the hood and we see how everybody else in this world is operating, to where we see, oh my God, there's a better life out there, So I was had my second daughter, because I dropped out of school. My first daughter, I was sick all the time. A lot of stuff was going on. So I dropped out. I went back to school. And then I got pregnant again. Now, I was too old to be in school, number one. But I went back anyway, because one of the teachers was like, come on, you need to come on back. I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus, I just don't want to do this. I was over it. My life was just steady going down. I'm in an abusive relationship. I'm going to have 2 kids, trying to be in high school. I need to get a job. So I started doing hair. In Christopher Holmes, I was doing everybody braids. That was crochet braids first came out. I was whipping everybody up $15. Maybe $5 for some hairstyle. I was just trying to get it so I could take care of my baby. Never really had a real job until I was like 21. So I did hair, and I was also getting child support back then. So that was a lot, for me. I was living with my mama. But there was a lot of times living with my mama, she didn't know half the things that I did, how I stepped up. I never just had to talk to her about it. Like, the lights would be getting turned off, and I'm getting them turned right back on. If I had the money, I'll pay it, or if not, I'm going outside, and I'm going to flip them hoes back on. So I did that a lot. So if they turned them off, she was at work, I'm going back and flipping them right back on. I learned how to turn water on, gas, everything. You name it, I did it. I turned it back on. I fed my brothers. I cooked for them. I cleaned for them. Me and my brother, my middle brother, was real close. My brother died recently when he was 40. of an overdose. Nobody knows that, but hey, everybody needs to know it. So my brother died of an overdose, and that's one thing I am trying to work through, because we were best friends. Like, we could talk about each other's, we had the same mama, same daddy, so we could talk about our mama to each other. You know what I'm saying? Without nobody judging us. Because if you talk to your mama, sometimes you talk about your mama to people and they want to put their input in, you like, I can talk about my mama all day long, but you don't have the right to talk about my mama, right? So we did a lot of that together, and I miss him so much. So getting through this, when I talk about the tough times, it's going to be hard for me, because there's a lot that went on, and I was actually the last person to see this boy alive. Just a lot. So I just want our mothers to know that we are affected, even in the womb. I never realized it until we was going through the adoption process, and she teach you that some kids, even though you're the adoptive parent, they're not going to experience the things that they would have experienced if they had stayed with the original parent, with the biological parents, that they still come out just like them. And so when you're pregnant, whatever you go through with the baby inside of your stomach, your baby will one day experience what you put them through. So sometimes we're in a relationship with someone and we're pregnant for them, we're going through a lot, ups and downs. Our babies are experiencing the same thing. Never realizing my baby, that girl's a crybaby. Amia is a crybaby. She's been crying since day one. That's because I cried the entire 9 months I was pregnant.